why the United States should have a national lockdown and why it is highly important. Living through one of the most horrifying events in the world's history is pretty scary. Not knowing if the world everyone knew would go back to normal or would this be the new normality that everyone would have to face. COVID 19 has forced millions of people to be in quarantine and caused millions of people to be sick or have millions of more people in grief due to the loss of a loved one. COVID 19 has affected millions, maybe billions, of people around the world, but depending on what country an individual lives in, determined how long the effect would have lasted. Many countries around the world had a mandatory national lockdown, which helped lower COVID 19 cases and even made the virus almost obsolete in that area. Where other countries, such as the United States, unfortunately treated COVID 19 not as a serious threat, but as a joke. The United States, unfortunately, has one of the highest COVID 19 rate per day, reaching almost 160,000 cases. Reaching almost 160,000 cases per day, thousand per day, is a major issue that the United States is challenging. Since March, there has been 11.6 million cases in the US alone and 250,000 deaths. That is why a national lockdown is needed. When COVID 19 first appeared in the United States, there was only around a few of 16 cases. These cases increased rapidly from hundreds of cases per day to thousands of cases per day. Before the United States took the COVID 19 pandemic seriously, the cases already have reached almost 30,000, which at that time was a large amount. In March, the United States finally started putting in restrictions, curfews, and started putting people in quarantine in different states, which helped lower COVID 19 cases. Finally, different states would close major businesses and attractions such as Disneyland, Disney World, grocery stores, restaurants, and major chain links in America. With minor businesses closing, it made people decide to stay at home and take it a little bit seriously. However, that time period would not last long enough because everything would reopen and cases would start to be on the rise again. The United States tried to lower cases by making the citizens wear a mask everywhere they went. However, some cities decided to uplift the mask mandates, which caused the virus to spread even more. At this point, major businesses started reopening and took less precaution. American people even became less precaution going out, not limiting how many people they were with and how many limited time they were out, not keeping the safe distance of 6 feet apart. If the United States had a national lockdown, the COVID 19 cases would decrease rapidly because everyone who has COVID 19 could get better and fight the virus, which would keep everyone safe. For instance, look at countries like China, New Zealand, and Australia. They had mandatory lockdowns and decreased and almost obsolete the virus completely. Countries like New Zealand, China, and Australia saved countless of lives and got to reopen their businesses to help their economies grow. If the United States took this precaution, we could have saved over 250,000 lives that were lost during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the United States alone, there was 11.6 million cases reported. If we have took precaution like any other country would have and have been taken in a major national lockdown, we could have saved lives. This is why the United States of America needs to have a national lockdown as soon as possible.